Hey guys, it's Mr. Peng and I'm going through the first 20 words of your spelling list. Okay, on your list this week is a bunch of words with O-U-G-H in it, okay? Now, this letter combination is a tricky one. It's pronounced a whole lot of different ways in the different words you have on the list. So pay attention to one, how it's spelt, and two, how you pronounce it. It gets confusing sometimes. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so for the first 6 words of this list, O-U-G-H here with the T after it makes the ought sound. So your first word is ought. Ought is a verb and it's used to indicate duty or correctness or something that is probable. Another way of thinking about this word is as a synonym for should, as in, it ought to be enough time, can be said, it should be enough time. So in a sentence, we can say, Greg was smelly, so everyone thought that he ought to take a shower. Isn't the spelling for this one easy? It's just our rule. O-U-G-H-T spells ought. Word number 2 is bought. Bought is a verb and it's the past tense of buy, which means to trade something for money. In a sentence, on his way home, he bought some soap and body wash from the shops. We're just putting a B in front of ought, so B-O-U-G-H-T spells bought. The next word is brought. Brought is a verb and it's the past tense of bring, which means to take someone or something to go to a place. For a sentence, you can have, he brought them back to his house and into the bathroom. For the spelling, the br sound is put just before the ought, so B-R-O-U-G-H-T spells brought. Word number 4 is thought. Thought is a verb, and it's the past tense of think, which means to have an idea, opinion, or belief about something. So, thought can be used as a noun too, which is that idea, opinion, or belief that you thought of. Okay, in a sentence, he thought he had the soap, but when he looked down, he realized it wasn't in his hands. For spelling, this time we're using TH to make the th sound. This is followed by the O-U-G-H-T. So, T-H-O-U-G-H-T spells thought. Word number 5 is sought. Sought is a verb, and it's the past tense of seek, which means to try and find something. So in a sentence, he sought long and hard around the neighborhood for the missing soap. For spelling, this time we're using the S before the O-U-G-H-T. So, S-O-U-G-H-T spells sought. Word number 6 is fought. Fought is a verb, and it's the past tense of fight, which means to take part in a violent struggle which involves the exchanging of physical hits or the use of weapons. I'm sure you know what a fight is. Okay, now in a sentence, he even fought the dog next door to see if the soap was in its kennel. Okay, for spelling, F is used at the start for the F sound, then the O-U-G-H-T for the ought sound. So we get F-O-U-G-H-T spelling fought. Okay, so now the next 2 words are words where O-U-G-H are at the end of the word and it makes the off sound. So then the 7th word of your list is cough. Cough is a verb and it means to suddenly expel air from the lungs with a sudden sound. Or as a noun, the act or sound of coughing. Let me cough and see if I blow out my microphone. Probably. Okay, so In a sentence, he started to cough when looking for the soap in the dusty cabinet. Remember that the O-U-G-H makes the off sound now, so we're adding it after a C to make the word cough. So, C-O-U-G-H spells cough. Word number 8 is trough. Trough is a noun, and it's a long, narrow, and open container for animals to eat or drink out of. Picture time! In a sentence, Greg moved the animals that were drinking from the trough aside to look for the soap. For spelling here, same deal as in cough, but TR is used at the start. So, T-R-O-U-G-H spells trough. Okay, now the next 3 words here have O-U-G-H at the end of the word, and it makes the uff sound. Okay, so your 9th word is rough. Rough is an adjective, and it's used to describe a surface that's uneven or not smooth. It can also describe someone who's violent. In a sentence, the search for the missing soap was very rough. Okay, switching up the sound of O-U-G-H, we have it making the uff sound. This time, we're putting an R in front of it to make rough. So, R-O-U-G-H makes rough. Word number 10 is tough. Tough is an adjective, and it describes something that's strong enough to put up with rough conditions or handling. You can think that it's another word for strong. In a sentence, thankfully, Greg was very tough and eventually he got what he wanted. Here, we're adding the letter T to the ending O-U-G-H to make tough. So, T-O-U-G-H spells tough. Word number 11 is enough. Enough is a determiner, so the word enough goes before a noun to say that there is as much of or as many as needed. So in a sentence, you can say, he had searched enough and found the soap. Spelling. For enough, we start with one E followed by the N. Then it's ended with our O-U-G-H ending. So E-N-O-U-G-H spells enough. Okay, now on the next 3 words of your spelling list, we have O-U-G-H at the end of the word, and it's making an O sound now. Okay, so the 12th word is dough. Dough is a noun, and it's a thick mixture of flour and liquid, mostly used for baking into bread or pastry. Picture time. Okay, for a sentence, the soap had fallen into the dough at the bakery as he was driving past before. For spelling, we're switching up the sound of the O-U-G-H. So for the word dough, we have the letter D followed by O-U-G-H. So D-O-U-G-H spells dough. Word number 13 is though. Though is an adverb, and it's another word for however. Another way you can imagine using this word is instead of even when. So, even when there weren't many trains, I caught one to work. Can be said, I caught the train to work. There weren't many trains though. Another sentence can be, Greg thought, how could it have been there though? For spelling, we're using TH here in front of the O-U-G-H ending. So, T-H-O-U-G-H spells though. Word number 14 is although. Although is a conjunction, and it means in spite of the fact that, or it's another way of saying even though. Remember, a conjunction is a word that joins 2 sentences together. In a sentence, although he had found the soap, It was covered in flour. Okay, so for spelling, we've just learnt how to spell though. So we're just going to add an A and an L in front of it to make the word although. So A-L, T-H-O-U-G-H spells although. The last two O-U-G-H words on your list make a different sound again. They make the ow sound. So the 15th word on your list is bough. Bough is a noun, and it's the main branch of a tree. Not the trunk, but the main branch. In a sentence, Greg sat on the swing which was attached to the bough of the tree, looking at his dirty soap. The pronunciation of the O-U-G-H is different. It is the ow sound. So, in the word bough, we're using a B in front of the O-U-G-H. So, B-O-U-G-H spells bow. Word number 16 is plough. Plough is a verb, and it means to turn soil over to prepare it for growing seeds. Or it can be a noun, which means a big machine used to plough the soil. To turn over soil means to pick up the soil and flip it. So the soil that was on top is now buried underground, and the soil that was underground is now on top, exposed to the sun. In a sentence, as he swung, his feet dug into the soil under him, like when a plough digs up the soil on a farm. In plough, PL is used before the OUGH ending. So, P-L-O-U-G-H spells plough. Okay, that does it for the O-U-G-H words. The main trick with them is the pronunciation and how the words are spelt, so be careful about that. Next up, word number 17 is really. Really is an adverb, and it means based in fact, or another word for very. In a sentence, Greg was really sad that his new soap was now really dirty. For spelling, we're going to use the word real to help us. Real is spelt R-E-A-L, and we're just going to add an L-Y to the end of it to spell really. So R-E-A-L-L-Y spells really. Word number 18 is lately. Lately is an adverb, and it just means recently. So in a sentence, you can have, he remembered that lately there have been reports of strange disappearing soaps. For spelling, just like the last word, we're going to use the word late to help us. Late is spelt L-A-T-E, and again, we're just going to put L-Y at the end. So L-A-T-E-L-Y spells lately. Word number 19 is finish. Finish is a verb, and it means to bring an activity to an end or to complete. So in a sentence, after he finished moping about his dirty soap, he finally went home to use it. For spelling, finish can just be sounded out. F-I-N for fin and I-S-H for the ish. So F-I-N-I-S-H spells finish. Word number 20 is until. Until is a preposition, and it means up to that point in time. So in a sentence, you can have, finally he was happy until he realized that his soap had disappeared once again. So for spelling, let's sound out this one too. So we have UN for the un, and then TIL for the till. U-N-T-I-L spells until. Okay, that does it for this week, and hopefully that helped you. I'll see you in the future. Catch ya!